Good morning, Amber, Jade and Indigo. Welcome to our reading lesson. Today the ally will be to describe a character's personality. Yesterday we were describing the dragon's appearance. So today we will describe the dragon's personality. So let's begin our lesson. First of all, are you prepared? Do you have a pencil, pen and piece of paper? You are in charge of the pause button, so if you need to pause the video, do so and restart when you're ready. Let's move to the next slide. Right, the steps in the lesson this morning will be phonics. Next we'll describe the dragon's personality, and then the last activity will be we will start to write our character description, because we're going to do this together. And here you can see there's a sentence for sound that goes with the sounds of the week.
So our sound of the week is O. Our sentence says, he can blow smoke from his yellow nose. Can you spot all the words which have an O sound in? And notice that we have 3 different graphemes making that O sound. Let's have a look. Did you see blow? In blow we have B-U-O with O-W grapheme making the O sound. Smoke uses the split grapheme, O split E, S-M-O-K, smoke. We have the word yellow, which uses the O-W grapheme making the O sound, Y-E-O, yellow. And in our last word, nose, we're using the split grapheme again. So we have N-O-Z, nose. Here's another sentence. His sharp spikes are on his throat. Are there any O words in this sentence? That's right, there's only one. And it uses O-A making the O sound. Th-r-o-t, throat.
And here are your 6 spelling words for the week. And tomorrow we will have a quiz on these 6 spelling words: blow, yellow, throat, moat, nose, smoke. And if we look at them, you can see the different grapheme sounds that are used for blow, yellow, throat, moat, nose, smoke. So remember, you need to try and practice these for tomorrow. We will have a quiz at the beginning of the lesson. So sometimes it helps if you can remember the image that goes with the word, like throat, moat, and smoke. Right, now we will start the second part of the lesson. Describing a dragon's appearance was what we did yesterday. So we had our dragon, or dragons, and we were able to describe what they looked like using adjectives. So the blue dragon has sharp claws. This dragon has fierce yellow and red eyes. So they're good adjectives. Fierce and yellow and red are adjectives because they describe the noun. And finally, grey scaly skin describes what the grey dragon looks like. What about describing a dragon's personality? How do we describe a dragon's personality? Well, if we describe a dragon's appearance, That's what they look like on the outside. So grey skin, sharp claws. Now, describing the dragon's personality is looking at the inside of the dragon. What are they like inside? In terms of, are they kind? Is the blue dragon kind? Or this dragon on the right, is this dragon brave? That would be describing the dragon's personality. Or we could say that this grey dragon has a scary personality. So let's first of all go back to some important things that you need to know about. Remember, a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Well, we have a dragon. The dragon is a noun. It's not a person. It's not a place. So we'd have to say it's a thing. It's a type of mythological or make-believe creature. So yesterday we had this phrase, adjectives. An adjective describes the noun. So we did come up with some adjectives to describe the noun. We had a long nose and a pointy nose. Long and pointy are the adjectives. We have rough skin, scaly skin. Rough and scaly are adjectives. They describe the skin. Skin is a thing. So we describe the noun. So skin is a noun. And then here we have wings. Wings are the noun, and the adjective will be black. Wings, black being the adjective because it describes what colour the wings are. And the one at the bottom, powerful wings. So powerful describes how strong the wings are. And in this last group, the noun is teeth. So the adjective will be dirty. Dirty teeth and sharp teeth. They both describe the dragon's teeth. So how do we use an adjective to describe the dragon? Here are 3 words, and they describe the dragon on the inside. This is the personality of the dragon. Which word would you choose? Kind, silly, or scary? Now you have to think about your story, George and the dragon. Is the dragon in the story kind? Or is the dragon silly? Or is the dragon in the story scary? Which word would you add in this sentence? So the dragon is, which word would you choose? Think about it. Is the dragon kind, silly, or scary? Think about the story. What was the dragon doing every time the villagers took the dragon something, or the army went to deal with the dragon? Yes, the dragon is scary. Let's look at another example of the description of the dragon's character. So we have 3 words: terrifying, friendly, confused. Is the dragon in George of the Dragon terrifying, friendly, or confused? Which is the best adjective? So terrifying is another word for being frightening. Yes, you're right. If you selected terrifying, that's perfect. The dragon is terrifying. The villagers definitely thought the dragon was terrifying because every time they took him something, he got angry and blew fire and they ran off, so frightened and terrified. We have one more example. How do we describe the dragon's personality? Do we use the word deadly, funny, or happy? Let me explain. Deadly, a synonym or simple word for deadly is dangerous. I'm sure you understand what funny and happy are. So think about the story. Is the dragon in George and the Dragon deadly, funny, or happy? Make your choice now. I'll count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're right. The dragon is deadly. So let's move on. It's time to write our character description. So we can do this together, and you can begin it as well. I'm going to make some suggestions, but you do not have to do what I do. So here we go. First of all, if we have a piece of writing, a simple story, we need a title. So I'm thinking of a title, and I'm going to use one of the words from our spelling list. So I'm going to call the dragon Smoke. That will be my title. If I see the word smoke, I know who this story is going to be about. It's Smoke. Smoke is the name of my dragon. So it's a noun. Here's my first sentence. Smoke is a scary dragon. Now, one thing that you can think about, do you remember the other words that were in the last slide that came with scary? Well, if you forgot, they're down here at the bottom. Scary, terrifying, deadly. So you could make a choice. What's the name of your dragon? And you could say, whatever your dragon's name is a terrifying dragon. Or you could have, what I could put in there as well, Smoke is a deadly dragon. And I like the word deadly because it goes perfectly with dragon. They both start with the letter D, and that's called alliteration. So I've written my first sentence, and now I'm going to think about my second sentence. So I use the word scary because that describes the character of the dragon. So that's part of my character description. What will my second sentence be? I need to think first. Okay, I'm going to think about this sentence. He has a fiery nose and likes to blow out smoke. Where did I get all that information from? Well, I remember the story. Remember, you had to remember the story and recall things from the story. So can you remember watching the video? Did the dragon have a fiery nose? Did he blow out smoke or fire? I think he did. Now, also to help me, do you remember that yesterday you were drawing adjectives to describe the appearance of your dragon? So can you do that? Do you have your drawing with you? Or can you remember some of the words or phrases that you used to describe the appearance of your dragon? If not, just work with me. So I'm looking at my picture below and I can see that I wrote about fiery nose. So I took that and I put it in my second sentence. Because I know not only does he have a fiery nose, but he likes to blow out either fire or smoke. So I chose that as my second sentence. What about my third sentence? Well, I'm going to look on my diagram that I drew. Hopefully you still have yours and you can look at it. And I'm going to include his skin is scaly and yellow. So that's a really good description of what the dragon's skin looks like. His skin is scaly and yellow. If you look on your picture that you drew with your adjectives describing the noun, you could use one of yours and put your sentence there. So See if you can make up your own sentences using the picture that you drew yesterday. If you don't have a picture, look at the one I've got on this slide. You can look at parts of the body that I described and use the information from my picture. Okay, what's going to happen next? Well, this is what's going to happen next. I'm only going to write those 3 sentences and then I'm going to check the sentences. So it's time to check our character description. Okay, what do I want to check? Well, yes, I've got a title and I spelled smoke correctly. What next? Well, I've got smoke is a scary dragon here. Now, what I have done is I highlighted my adjective, which is scary. It's in red. I also put or changed the letter S to blue. Why did I do that? It's important that when you start a sentence, you have a capital letter. So I coloured all my capital letters in blue. So you can see the letter S or capital S is in blue because you need a capital letter at the beginning of your sentence. Why did I underline smoke? Well, smoke is one of my spelling words for this week. Or one of your spelling words, I should say. Let's look at sentence number 2. But I have a capital H at the beginning, so yes, I've got a capital letter. I can tick that off. I've got an adjective. It's fiery. It's coloured in red. Oh, I forgot. After the word dragon, it's hard to see, but there's a blue dot. At the end of a sentence, we need a full stop. So let's carry on. He starts with a capital letter. The letter H is a capital because you start a sentence with a capital letter. Fiery is the adjective and it describes a nose. And the nose is a noun. So I've underlined nose, blow and smoke. Why did I do that? Because they are all in our spelling list for the week and they all have the sounds of O, which we've been practicing this week. Now at the end of smoke you can see that there's a blue dot. That's a full stop. At the end of every sentence you must have a full stop. And finally, our third sentence starts with a capital H because it's the beginning of a sentence. And I've highlighted scaly and yellow because they are both adjectives and they describe what the skin is like. So the skin is a yellow colour and the skin feels scaly. That's important. So have you been able to, and of course, sorry, we finished that sentence with a full stop. So your task is to try and write some of your own sentences. You only need 3. Tomorrow we're going to carry on with this story, but you need to try and write 3 of your own sentences. Remember, you need a title, and you can start with smoke is what kind of dragon is he? So describe his character or personality. What happens next? Well, remember, use this picture down below if you didn't draw one or you've lost it or you can't find it. So use the one here. Look at the phrases that I used where I described the noun or part of the body of the dragon. And you can use them to put in the sentences that you make up today. Right, so if you complete your work today, send your work to yr3@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Thank you very much. I look forward to reading your work and hopefully being able to give you a certificate for all your hard work. So good luck with the task. I look forward to reading your work. Bye for now. Speak to you tomorrow.